All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Rich Walsh along with Paul Zeise. Hey, we haven't been together in a long time. I took a couple Fridays off. I think you were off one Friday. And finally, we're back together, the dynamic duo. It's like Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it's been a long time, that's for sure. I was starting to think that maybe you just don't like me anymore.
I love you, Paul. You know that. We get the best show. All right, so I'm going to get into the Steelers a little bit. The Steelers are actually an underdog for the first time this year. Look, this is a game I always thought was trouble for the Steelers. It's one of those games where the Steelers will go there. Maybe they think they're a little bit better than they are, and they potentially could lose this game. I'm not going to call it a trap game because it isn't. Both teams are 5-0. It's going to be two good teams against each other. But I just don't have a good feeling about this game at all.
Well, I mean, I think the thing about it is the Titans' defense is not very good, and that could be the edge for the Steelers. By the same token, they've been sort of a bend-don't-break type defense that makes plays and is able to stop drives and change the game just because of the way that they play. So, they're at home. It's obviously a big game for them, and so you never know. I mean, if their defense shows up, then, yeah, this could be a problem for the Steelers. Although, I will say this, the strength of the Titans is running the football. The strength of the Steelers' defense is stopping the run, as we saw last week with the Browns. The Steelers can make life very, very difficult for you to try and run against them. Now, of course, that was mostly with Devin Bush, but, I feel like they're going to be able to shut down or at least stop or slow Derrick Henry, and if they do that, I think they have a real chance to win the game.
Yeah, I agree, but Ryan Tannehill, he's been pretty good. He's been pretty solid, doesn't make many mistakes, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Third best passer rating in the NFL, ahead of Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger. I think Devin Bush is a huge loss. I know we've talked about it all week. I'm sure you've talked about it on your show. Let's go out to Bruce in Brookline. How you doing, Bruce?
Hey, Rich. Hey, Paul.
Thanks for calling.
Sorry, I'm just a little nervous talking to two big stars like you two.
Yeah, right.
I just want to say about Devin Bush and, trying to fill that gap in the middle, it's all about playing injured. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but my wife's caught a bad inner ear infection, so she's got vertigo.
No, I haven't noticed anything. But, Bruce, I appreciate the call. I think, Spillane is the weak link of this defense. There's no question about it, Paul. I mean, and don't you think the Titans, look, if I'm an offensive coach, I'm going after this guy, right? That's their game plan. Has to
right,
be.
but if you're the Steelers, you're going to scheme it right so that they can't exploit him nearly as much as they want to. And I think the other thing about it is on throwing downs, you're going to make sure that you have somebody else in the game other than him. Obviously 1st and 10, if they're going to make a play on 1st and 10 to try and take advantage of that matchup, obviously that's something that you're going to have a hard time dealing with. But to me, I feel like they're going to use enough guys, and they're going to have enough guys rolling into the game that they're going to be able to protect him enough that he won't be, quite the Achilles heel like it was before when Ryan Shazier got hurt.
Are you surprised that Keith Butler basically came out and said that they're not going to move Edmonds up at all? They're going to keep kind of everything where it is? Kind of plug and play?
No, I mean, I think because they're not going to tell you what their game plan is, even if they were going to do it. We'll have to wait to see on Sunday what they do. You know what I'm saying? They can say a lot of things during the week, but once the games start, then we'll get a chance to see what they're really thinking. And that's why, honestly, most of the stuff they say during the week, you take with a grain of salt.
And here's what I kind of think. This is why I think the Steelers are going to have a good season, whether they win this or they lose this game. This offense can score 30 points. I think they're going to score 31 points basically every week or average around there. So you can pretty much beat anyone if you score 31 points. This defense wants to keep opponents to 17 points or less. That's their goal every week. Cam Hayward told me that, always says that 17 points or less. So if they potentially can keep offenses to 17, 24, even 28, you got a good shot with this offense.
Well, what I like, Richie, about the Steelers in general is that they can beat you in a number of ways. They can play a 10-7 game or whatever, and their defenses, can hold up and give you a chance to win. They can play a game that gets to, 38-35, and they're explosive enough on offense they could win it that way. I mean, there's a lot of different ways they can beat you. They can run, they can throw it, they can stop the run. So to me, when you look at this team, they're a complete team, and they're going to be a really tough out no matter who they play.
Let's go out to Tom in Duquesne. How you doing, Tom?
Hey, I'm doing okay.
Thanks for
I'd
calling.
like to burst your bubble a little bit. I just don't think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to finish 7-9. I have reason to believe that. Turnovers.
7-9.
That's exactly what they're
So
going to.
you're saying they only have 2 more wins here the rest of the year? That is crazy. Tom, I love you, but there's no way that's happening. There's no way they're going to be 7-9. Zero chance, Tom. Tom's gone now, but zero chance. There is zero chance that this team's going to be 7-9. Zero.
Well, they have 2 games against the Bengals left, right? They still have the Redskins, I think, or whatever they're called now. Washington
they got the Browns. They got
team.
Jacksonville.
And they got the Cowboys. They got Jacksonville. I mean, there's at least 6 games that if they show up and play reasonably well, they don't have to play perfect games. And if they just show up and play decent, they can win.
That might have been one of the worst things I ever heard. 7-9? Are you kidding me? I could potentially see 9-7, 4 wins. But this team is good. Ben Roethlisberger looks motivated. He's playing arguably some of his best football that I've seen, right? The running game still is kind of iffy to me, even though Connor has had 300-yard games. I'm still not sold on the running game, but the passing game, they got some good wide receivers, 4 really good ones, and they can beat you any which way. They got 2 good tight ends. This is a really good offense. I do not see them, I can't see them any worse than 10-6 right now as we talk.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I think that's 7-9 is a little bit ludicrous, but whatever. I mean, some guys, listen, I mean, knock on wood, and you hope it doesn't happen, but if Ben Roethlisberger were to go down this week, who knows? I mean, we saw what happened last year with Mason. Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's why I don't say there's zero chance, because things could happen. You know what I mean? But I would say less than 2% chance. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I would bet it that the Steelers are going to at least win 5 more games this year. They might not win this weekend, but they're going to win again. I think they're going to split with Baltimore. They're going to beat the Bengals twice. They're probably going to beat the Browns twice. They're going to beat Jacksonville. And you got to look at those other games and potentially split them. There's no way in the world that they don't win 10 games, unless something bad happens, like Duck Hodges is playing quarterback. All right, now our Tri-State Office Furniture tweet of the night. And Paul, one of your favorite receivers of all time looks like he has a new home. See that one? Antonio Brown and the Buccaneers. 1-year deal.
Again,
I thought Bruce Arians wanted nothing to do with this guy.
Well, it's kind of funny how that works, isn't it? When you're really, really good, guys forget how much they dislike you or whatever they said about you when you're willing to sign with them. And it sounds like he's taking a team-friendly deal with a lot of incentives. So that means he's going to be very, very motivated to go down there and play well. And frankly, I'm glad he's back in the league. I enjoy watching him play.
Yeah, I think, this is coming from a Tom Brady power play move from what I understand. Tom Brady wanted him there. They have some kind of relationship, I guess. And this is going to make the Buccaneers so much better on offense now. I mean, look at those receivers. A couple of them have been injured and banged up this year, but adding Antonio Brown to a team, and if he's anywhere near the Antonio Brown that we saw in 18, even parts of 19 when he played, that offense is going to be pretty good. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls. Some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.